Welcome again to the old principal. 我就是老校长。我们现在有一个英文节目。Well, at least we're going to teach a little bit of English. We're going to tell a story. Again, this is another one of my stories. In fact, this is number 241, School Baker, 学校面包师. And that's me. I was the school baker. That's not me, of course. Now, let's listen to the story and then I will be right back, okay?
Story 241, School Baker. For the 3 years in boarding high school and the 4 years in college, I determined to change my work every year. I really didn't need to work, but by working, I lightened the financial burden on my father. Also, working part-time helped me to be a better student. That may sound strange, but research has shown that students who work part-time put a higher value on their education, and therefore they get better grades. Also, they learn how to use their time more wisely. So during my junior year at Laurelwood, I was the school baker. My responsibility as baker was to make about 100 loaves of bread every morning, and most of that was by hand. I mixed up all the ingredients in a very large electric mixer. Then, as the dough began to rise, I prepared a second batch. After the dough had risen quite high, I placed it all upon a wooden deck where I cut and weighed the exact amount for each loaf. After kneading all the air bubbles out, I formed each piece and placed the loaves in greased pans. After another hour of raising, the pans were placed in the oven to bake. Most people follow recipes when they make bread, and so did I when I was baking for the school. In later years, I discovered that I had gained such a feeling for bread making that I didn't need to follow recipes. The kind of bread we baked was whole wheat. Our modern scientific society has created white bleached flour. But the process of making the flour white and bleached has also removed the most important vitamins and minerals. Why is this important? Students need lots of vitamin B to help their minds think better. Therefore, it was only natural that our school baked and served only whole wheat bread.
Welcome back. Are you ready to begin? School baker. For 3 years in boarding high school and the 4 years in college, I determined to change my work every year. Now, this is very interesting. Some people do one thing and they do it year after year after year after year, and they never change. For me, I wanted to have the experience of what? Of doing something different, learning something new, becoming skillful in many different things. So every year while I was in boarding high school, what is a boarding high school? 寄宿高中中学, okay? And 4 years in college, of course, I spent 4 years 读大学. I determined 我做决定 to change my work every year, 换我的工作. Now, I must explain that the school system, 我这个教育系统, 学校系统, has strongly encourages, I should say, strongly encourages students to work. 半工半读 is what we call it. And it's good for the students. Also helps them earn a little bit of money. 抵消他们的学费 to lower the cost of their tuition. Okay, going on. I really didn't need to work. Of course. You know why I didn't need to work? Because my father, well, yeah, 他是大老板, so he could pay for my education. But I felt it was important to work. But I lightened. What does it mean to lighten? 减轻, okay? 减轻 the financial burden on my father. 我父亲的经济的负担. Okay? 经济的负担. Okay? Financial burden, I lightened it. Okay? 减轻. Also, working part-time helped me be a better student. And that may sound strange. In a way, now that I think about it, it does sound a little bit strange. Why, if you are working part-time, obviously, 很清楚 that if you're working, you're not studying. So how is it that schoolwork, and working, some part-time, actually 非常配合, they actually go together quite good, and it even helped my grades. Going on. That may sound strange, like I just said, 觉得奇怪, huh? Okay? But research has shown that students who work part-time put a higher value on their education. Now, this is research. This is not from my brain, but research shows that something very interesting happens. When a student works part-time, he puts a higher value on his education. Okay? 他看他的教育比较 well, in Chinese, we would say 比较看重 to put a higher value on 等于说是看重 Of course, higher value is 价值定一个跟你教育的定一个对你的教育定一个更高的价值 So, but simply put, 叫看重我们的教育 Okay, going on. And therefore, they get better grades. And that was my experience. Also, they learn how to use their time more wisely. Of course, when you have to work and you have to study, you don't waste your time. 不会浪费时间啊 Going on. So during my junior year at Laurelwood, now this is my high school year, the name of the school was Laurelwood Academy. Laurelwood Academy was the name of the school. In my junior year, 这个11年级11年是高二年级的时候 I was the school baker. Okay. Actually, there was a couple of them, but I was 其中之一 school baker, 学校的面包师 I baked bread. Now I will tell you a little bit about how I baked bread. My responsibility as baker was to make about 100 loaves of bread every day. This was my responsibility. 我自己的责任 Every day, I had to make about 100 loaves of bread, 100条面包 every day, okay? And I worked in the morning, so I was the morning shift. 我是早上班呢，不是下午班呢。Okay, and most of that was by hand. So what does it mean that when I made bread, I did it by hand? That's right. It means that 我是用双手做的。那并不是说呢，我们没有用机器 but it was very important for us to use a mixer, and I'll explain a little bit about that. But the whole process was basically done by hand. Going on. I mixed up all the ingredients. First thing you need to know, what are ingredients? 原料. What are the ingredients for bread? Well, the most important thing is 面粉. Okay? And then you have to have water. Then what else do you have? You need a little salt, 有一点盐, and you need sugar, and you need what? Salt, sugar. Yeah, 发酵粉. You need yeast. You need yeast. And so we mixed it all up. Okay, to mix it up in a very large electric mixer. Okay. 电动的 electric mixer 搅拌机. Okay. When the dough, okay, now here's another new word, dough, 面团, okay, began to rise. Okay, then we are prepared a second batch. 就开始做第二批. So I did 2 batches, 第一批跟第二批, okay? And when the first batch was along a ways, then I did a second batch. Going on. After the dough had risen quite high, I placed it all upon a wooden deck where I cut and weighed the exact amount for each loaf. Now, there are a few words. Of course, we already know is dough had risen, 面团. It had gone quite high. Okay, so it's 已经发起来蛮高. Okay, I placed it on a wooden deck. A wooden deck is like a wood-topped table. Okay, 所以一个木板也是一个桌子一个台. Oh, maybe you could even say a tie. It's made out of wood. Okay, and there I cut it. Okay, 切成 okay 一部分 okay, I cut and weighed 用我就称一称 the exact amount for each loaf. Now this was very important. It says the exact 这个确切的这个确切的 exactly 不多也不少 the exact amount for each loaf. A loaf of bread 是一条 okay 一条面包. Of course, at this point, at this point it's still dough. It has not been baked. 还没有烤. Go ahead. After kneading, okay, what is kneading? To knead the bread. Have you ever kneaded bread? I've done a lot of it with my hands, kneading the bread. Roll 那个面团, okay, so you're making the bread. Okay, kneading. Okay, sounds like need, 需要, right? But it has a KN before it. Interestingly, it's kneading. Okay, now, what were we trying to do? We were trying to get the bubbles out. 我们要把这个气泡这个捏出来, okay? So this is the reason why you make it. Also, not only are you trying to get the air bubbles out, 这个气泡, okay? You want to form it 就造成一条, okay? 一块一块放在 loaves in greased pans. What is a greased pan? Pan 就是这个盘子, okay? And greased 我们是擦油的. Why would you put the bread in greased pans? So it won't stick. Stick 不会粘起来, 粘住. Okay? So I formed each piece and placed the loaves in greased pans. Going on. After another hour, so you still wait another hour. 还要等一个小时. Why? Because after you've done the kneading, then you need time for it to start rising again. And at a certain time, the pans were placed in the oven to bake. The 盘子要放在烤箱机要烤, okay? What is an oven? An oven is a 烤箱机. Many kinds of ovens. Our ovens were very big, very tall ovens. So, but sometimes, maybe in your house, you have an oven in your house and it's very, very small. In fact, in my house, the oven is very, very small. I can only make maybe 3 loaves of bread. 3条面包, that's all. Can't make any more in my house. Going on. Most people follow recipes. Okay? Most people follow recipes. Do you know what a recipe is? A recipe is 食谱, okay? You know, this might be a recipe, you know. So this, they follow recipes when they make bread. And of course we did too, because we had to be very, very careful to do it just exactly right. And so did I. Yeah, I used the recipe too. Because I was baking for this school. 绝对不要错. So you're following the recipe every day. It's exactly the same. Going on. Later on, I discovered that I had gained such a feeling for bread making that I didn't need to follow the recipes. Okay? Later on, this is after I had finished being the school baker for 1 year, 我就发现 that I had gained such a feeling for bread making. To gain a feeling for means to get an understanding for. 开始明白做面包的过程, okay, 和秘诀. I had gained such a feeling for bread making that, interestingly enough, I did not need to what? Follow recipes. Many times when I bake bread, I don't follow a recipe. Why? Because I have this feeling, it's something just kind of imprinted on my brain that you take a little of this, you put it together, and whoo, the bread is just perfect. Every time? I hope so. In later years, okay, going on, the kind of bread that we baked was whole wheat. What is whole wheat bread? 全麦面包. Now, I tell you a secret. When you see in the stores 全麦面包, I tell you a secret. It is not 全麦. Very seldom 很难的能够看到真正的全麦. Most of the time they put white flour in there. In fact, quite a bit of white flour. In fact, I think I explained here, go ahead, our modern scientific society, 我们现代 modern 现代 scientific 有科学的社会 society. Well, those are three nice big long words. Modern scientific society, 现代科学时代 has created 创造 white bleached flour. White flour, 这个白的. In fact, they say 越白越好. That's not true, but that's what they say. Or that's the feeling that we get. In fact, strange, they take all of the vitamins out, all of the good stuff, 这个维生素, 矿物质拿出来, and then they use, what do they use? They use chemicals and stuff like that, 一些化学药品放进去. And then they call it enriched. Oh, why not just leave it the way it was? 原来是好得很呢. But this is our modern scientific society, white bleached, 漂白的 going on. I explained that. But the process of making the flour white and bleached has also removed most of the vitamins. Now notice, it says here that it has removed most of the vitamins, 大部分的这个维生素, okay, and minerals, 矿物质. So they take it out, and then they think, this is not good, and so then they put it back in. 那倒不如 leave it the way it is. Why is this important? Of course, it is very important because, going on, students need lots of vitamin B to help their minds think. Students need lots of vitamin B, 维生素 B 对脑袋对思想. And if there are some students watching today this 老校长的节目, and you want to improve your grades, 当然这个不能取代努力的念书, but the important thing to keep in mind that vitamin B helps your thinking. Therefore, at our school, it was only natural that we baked and served only whole wheat bread. We never made white bread. Why? Because we were a school. And we needed to give the vitamins and the minerals, the 维生素跟矿物质, we wanted to give that back to the students. So, we baked whole wheat bread. Nowadays, my wife and I bake bread at home. We are very busy people. So we bought a 面包机, and it's basically 全自动的. You just put the stuff in, and you turn it on, and 3 hours and 15 minutes later, 3个小时来15分钟, the bread is finished, it's beautiful, it's fresh, and you can take it out. Now, that's the simple way. But when I was young, I did it by hand. 我是用双手做的. Those were the good old days. I can still do that. But right now, pretty busy. For sure, we have a high percentage of whole wheat in our bread because we want the vitamins and minerals. Okay, here's our email address, theoldprinciple@gmail.com, 老校长在 gmail.com. Okay, and then www.theoldprinciple.org. That's our website address, www.theoldprinciple.org. Hey, it's been great to be with you today, and I hope that you will join us next time with your friend. Bye-bye for now.